anyway, so just to clue everyone in, basically, I don't know if I spoke about this on stream, I think I did, but, what happened is, so for those who don't know, there's a guy called iDubbbz who's pretty popular on YouTube. I'd be surprised if any of you really don't know who he is, but there might be a couple. So just to fill you in, he does, like, kind of edgy, like, meme-y content where he goes after other content creators. This is a big part of what he does. He does, like, kind of, like, he covers a lot of, like, really shitty-looking Kickstarters. He just does a lot of, like, he calls it edutainment, I think is the term he uses. And it basically just means, like, it's kind of like a bit educational, mostly just for fun, though, right? Like, that's the purpose of the term, right? And basically, yeah, but it's all just a goof or whatever, right? That's what he does. Basically, what happened recently is his girlfriend, Anisa, decided to open up an Onlyfans. So for those of you who don't know what that is, I'm just assuming pretty much all of you do, because you guys are fucking capital G fucking gamers, but either way, OnlyFans is a website in which women can go on and share pictures with people who subscribe to them, basically. People use it for a variety of different reasons. It's not always like lewds or whatever. Some people just post, I don't know, their own pictures of just like them chilling. I don't really understand why you'd ever pay for that, but I mean, there you go. It's not up to me. That's up to the people in the free market to decide. But either way, iDubbbz's girlfriend decided to do specifically a lewd OnlyFans. So she's going to get her tits out for people on the internet. And for whatever reason, on Twitter, the fucking hive mind got incredibly fucking tilted, and it was just very cringy, very embarrassing for everyone involved to watch. And I yeah, that was pretty much it. That's what it was. So I posted to Twitter my thoughts, which is that ultimately, it's pretty fucking funny to me that a bunch of people seem to give that much of a fuck about it, and it's pretty pathetic as well, to be honest. That was more or less what I said. And then, obviously, the iDubbbz hive mind came out of the woodwork and was like, but what about iDubbbz? Think about his sweet dick. He's a simp now. How could we respect our man when he's a simp? How can this cucklord be our god? We have to banish him to the fucking shadow realm of beta males. And that was pretty much it. And this guy who's on chat right now is one of the people that came out of the woodwork and was mostly just like trolling, really. I don't think you were that serious in any of the things you said, but you seem to have like, yeah, you're just like, you know, trolling like Devin reviews as a simp. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I also kind of expected that. Like, what can you, it's the internet. What the fuck do you expect, right? So that was kind of whatever, but at the same time, I think at the core of what I was saying, there's a serious point. So I don't know exactly what you want to chat to me about, but you said like you think I'm a bit of a hypocrite or some shit. So I'm kind of curious to see where this goes, really.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I totally agree that it's like, you know, kind of pathetic to be that obsessed with someone. But then isn't it the same thing to like go on Twitter and be like, you know, you guys are so pathetic, like being like you have to stand up for or whatever.
So here's my point, right? Basically, I think that's really, really stupid and reductive, because basically you're saying no one can have an opinion on anything, otherwise you're being like, you can't like criticize someone else's opinion, because ultimately you're just giving an opinion. That's like a really weird, reductive way to look at conversations, and it just doesn't really make sense to me to look at it like that. Like, if I'm gonna go and talk some shit about some people's opinions online, that's kind of what Twitter's there to do. Like, they're giving their opinion, I'm giving my opinion. Like, I can call it pathetic, but I don't really... basically the point is that what I'm saying isn't pathetic, because I think there's validity to my point, and what I'm saying is the actual opinion these people hold is pathetic, not so much about them being obsessed with Anisa or iDubbbz or whatever, although that is pretty weird as well. Yeah. I'm basically saying that the content of what they're saying is what's pathetic, not necessarily like just the fact that they're saying it, you know? And that's why I would say I'm avoiding being hypocritical.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was thinking it was more of like alright, I'm trying to like, you guys can't have an opinion on it, because that's a pathetic opinion.
Oh no, they can have an opinion on it, but I'm just gonna roast the fuck out of them. Like, if you're gonna come out and be like, oh my god, my daddy iDubbbz he's betrayed me, like he's letting his girlfriend get her tits out, that means my girlfriend might want to do that. Oh no, women are empowered. Like, I think it just comes from a really like weird, slightly, I don't want to like throw out the M word necessarily, but I think it comes from maybe a slightly misogynistic place, dare I say it. And it's a bit fucking weird to me that people just, give that much of a fuck about two people doing, like, consenting to a thing. So yeah, that's kind of the core of my point, really.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you think it's that important, like, as a person to be like, oh, I can't let you do this thing, like, I can't let you, you know, show yourself online, then it's like, what's the point? You're just being controlling.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, I mean, if you don't want that in your girlfriend or whatever, obviously that's fine, that's something that you can decide on, but if you personally feel that uncomfortable with iDubbbz letting his girlfriend do it, it seems a little bit weird to me, you know?
No, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the entire point. Wait, what the fuck is I saying? How many Twitch thoughts right now are using donations and channel points by giving out premium Snapchats? But yeah, who gives a fuck though, really? That's just the business model, dude. Like, what does it matter? Do you really give a fuck that people make money off sex? Are you also gonna go after, like, every fucking porn star in existence and shit? Like, what is your point? Like, I don't know, I don't really get it. I think people have a really weird sex negative vibe in general, especially when it comes to women on the internet, and I've always found it just very bizarre, man. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it's kind of funny seeing you go so hard on Twitter and come on and basically agree with, like, all the things I'm saying. Yeah. Can you explain that a bit, please, sir?
No, yeah, for sure. I felt the same thing. I was like, oh man, I was like trolling on Twitter, and then I'm like, oh no, I agree. Well, I felt like, you know, the whole thing was like, oh, you know, it was more of like a silencing thing than just my opinion is that your opinion is pathetic. Like, obviously that's reasonable, but I thought when I read it, it was more of like a, you guys shouldn't have an opinion on this, you know, you're not iDubbbz, you're not Anisa, you can't speak your mind about it.
Yeah, like, so, yeah, fair. Okay, if you read it like that, then I guess I can kind of understand, but I think I don't know, man, I don't think it really... I don't really think that my tweet reads like that. I think I'm just very clearly criticizing some people saying some dumb shit on Twitter, as opposed to being like, you can't have an opinion.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it reads that way, that's, I don't know, man, I could maybe try improving your reading comprehension. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Mine's bad as well, so I can relate, but, like, damn, dude, maybe proofread some shit sometime before fucking roasting on Twitter, I guess.
It was another tweet too where you said like you're not iDubbbz. Like that was where my idea stemmed from, was like, oh, you're not iDubbbz, you can't have an opinion on it personally.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, to an extent, you can't in that context. Like, if I'm saying you're not iDubbbz, you can't have an opinion on it, in that context, what I'm saying is that basically you have no control over their relationship. You aren't in that relationship would be the extension of, or the logical structure of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
you can't affect them personally.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I mean, is that literally all you have to say then? You're just gonna like keel over and be like, oh, I guess I'm wrong. Is that it?
I guess so. I guess it just stemmed from reading it wrong, I guess.
There you go, everyone. The mighty Vince on display. Anyway, sorry, I think I'm done roasting you now. You can, I don't know, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, that was basically it. It was just the whole, like, trying to clear up. Oh, yeah, and did you see the one tweet where it said, lol, Vince thinks his opinion is correct?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
Okay. Yeah, that was what I was confused about, too. I was like, why be?
I think what they were saying, though, was in response to something else. Like, I think I can't remember what it was. I remember the thread, though. Like, I basically, you was roasting or whatever, said some, like, I think you gave an actual opinion, though, at one point. And I think it was like, you know what, I actually think it was when you called me hypocritical, and then someone said to that, lol, thinks he's correct by calling me hypocritical. Which, I mean, if at this point you have, you know, if you've conceded that my point isn't hypocritical. Oh my god, I did phase 1 without getting hit. Extreme pog energy in chat right now. Oh fuck, we're getting roasted. Anyway, yeah, basically, if you agree with me at this point that I'm not being hypocritical, then that person you would have to say is correct, right? At this point. Because that's all they were saying at the end of the day. Oh, is that it, Vince? You there, buddy? Oh, he bounced, I think. Rip. There we go. There's the epic Twitter Vince. Oh, hello. You good?
It was breaking out for a bit. What'd you say?
Oh, okay. I was just basically saying that if you're conceding that you don't think I was being hypocritical, now I've kind of explained myself, like, I guess, a bit clearer, then you also have to concede that the person who said lol thinks his opinion is correct, you also have to concede that they're correct, because they were right. I'm not being hypocritical.
Sure, yeah.
Cool. Sure. Okay, well, I guess that's basically everything then.
Yeah, well, thanks for clearing it up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, bud. If you ever want to come on and chat about, I don't know, whatever, please feel free to. Like, what was... I just got fucking freezer, dude. What was that shit? The boss just... Oh, okay, fuck me, holy shit. That was... Where did that come from? Anyway. Yeah, see you later, my dude. Peace out. There you go. I hope you all enjoyed that extreme cringe. This debate, 10 out of 10 stream caller. Yeah, I agree, to be honest. That's why I'd ask you about the interpretation of your statement before a debate. If it has intended, proceed. If it isn't, clear it up first. Yeah, so, like, I mean, the thing, it's quite funny, because I've actually heard about this from other people who, like, other content creators who, like, debate people on Twitter, where, like, the person will go super fucking hard on Twitter, then you bring them in, and they just agree with everything you say, and, like, walk back half of what they said, you know? Like, I don't know, man. Like, whenever someone on Twitter goes so hard and is like, you're a simp because you have this opinion, or you're a cuck or whatever because you have this opinion, like, I don't know. I think, like, he was probably trolling to some extent, but you gotta feel like at least a bit of what he was saying was sincere. Then he comes on and just, like, has nothing to say, basically. So, there you go. There's the internet in practice, I suppose. Don't you love America? Don't you love freedom of speech, boys? What a glorious gift we've been given on this God-forsaken land. Sorry, not God-forsaken, God-given, either way.